Hello and welcome, especially to all you IGNOU aspirants out there. Ever thought about how governments decide how much to spend right now to prevent a climate catastrophe that's, 50 years away? Well, it all boils down to one single, incredibly powerful number. And if you're gearing up for your exams, you absolutely need to understand this number, the discount rate. So today, we're going to break it all down for you. So let me ask you a question. What if I told you that our entire global strategy for climate change, everything, hangs on just one number? A number that decides whether we act with urgency or just, kick the can down the road for someone else to deal with. What is this mysterious number? Let's find out. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll nail down exactly what the discount rate is. Then, we'll connect the dots to see why it's a massive deal for the climate. We'll jump into the huge ethical debate it sparks, see it in action with some real-world examples, and then wrap it all up with a quick revision guide perfect for your exams. Let's get into it. Okay, Section 1. What is the discount rate? Let's start with the absolute basics you'll need. So, in simple terms, the discount rate is just a way to put a number on a very human feeling. We'd rather have good things now than later. It's an economic tool that answers a really important question. How much is a promise of a benefit in the far-off future actually worth to us right here, today? Let's make this super simple. Imagine a friend offers you 1,000 rupees. You can have it right now, or you can get the exact same 1,000 rupees in the year 2045. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? You take it today. Why? Because you could invest it, or spend it, or just buy a lot of chai with it now. That strong preference for having the money today means you are discounting its future value. And how much you prefer it now? Well, that's your personal discount rate. All right, Section 2, why it matters for climate. So we've got this simple idea of personal preference, but how in the world does that scale up to the massive global issue of climate change? Okay, this is the core of the problem with climate policy. There's a huge time lag. We have to pay the costs of fighting climate change, like investing in renewable energy, today, but the real benefits, like avoiding catastrophic climate disasters, won't be fully felt for decades, maybe 50 years or more. The discount rate is the formula we use to decide if that distant benefit is worth the very real cost we have to pay right now. And this single choice sends us down two completely different roads. If you pick a high discount rate, you're basically saying, you know what, a problem in the year 2100 doesn't seem that big of a deal from here in 2024. So you value those future damages as being small today. The result, not much action. But if you pick a low discount rate, you're saying, whoa, that future catastrophe is a massive threat, and we need to treat it like an emergency right now. That drives immediate, powerful action. Section 3, the great ethical debate. And this leads us to the heart of the matter. This whole thing, it stops being about economics and starts being about ethics. All right, get your notebooks out because this is a huge term for your exam. Intergenerational equity. It sounds complex, but it's really just about fairness between generations. A high discount rate pretty much throws this idea out the window. It poses a really tough question. Is it fair to value our own comfort and convenience today so much more than the safety and well-being of our children and grandchildren? And for a lot of economists and philosophers, the answer is a hard no. They argue that this isn't a calculation you can just plug into a spreadsheet. It's a moral judgment. By using a high discount rate, we are effectively stating that the lives of people in the future are worth less than our own, and many people find that idea ethically indefensible. Okay, Section 4, discount rate in action. Now, this debate isn't just theoretical stuff for classrooms. Let's look at how two Nobel-winning economists, Nicholas Stern and William Nordhaus, looked at the same problem and came to wildly different conclusions, all because of this one number. But first, another key term for your exam, the social cost of carbon, or SCC. Think of this as the real-world consequence of the discount rate debate. The SCC is the price tag we put on pollution. It tries to calculate the total damage in healthcare costs, property damage, you name it, that comes from emitting just one more ton of carbon dioxide. And guess what? That price is almost entirely decided by the discount rate. And would you just look at the difference this makes? It's massive. William Nordhaus, he uses a higher discount rate, and he lands on a social cost of carbon around $10 per ton. But Nicholas Stern, who argues for a very low discount rate, he puts the cost at $85 a ton. That's not a small disagreement. That is a chasm that leads to completely opposite policies. This table is perfect for your revision. It lays it all out. On one side, you have Nordhaus. He's coming from a more traditional economic view, using a 3% rate. This gives him a low carbon price and suggests a slow, gradual approach. On the other side, you have Stern. He argues from an ethical position, that we can't discount future lives, so he uses a tiny 0.1% rate. This makes the price of carbon super high and demands we take urgent, radical action now.
Okay, I've got a simple little trick for you to remember this for your exam. A mnemonic. Just think, Stern is serious. His arguments are ethically stern and he demands serious, urgent action. Low rate, high price, serious action. Got it? And for the other guy, think Nordhaus is nearsighted. His focus is more on near-term economics, using a higher rate that values the present more. So, Stern is serious, Nordhaus is nearsighted. That should help it stick.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Section 5, your exam revision guide. Let's pull everything we've talked about together and recap the absolute key takeaways. Here it is, your cheat sheet. If you're cramming last minute, this is the slide. The discount rate turns future values into today's values. A high rate makes the future seem small, leading to weak action. A low rate makes the future loom large, demanding strong action. This whole choice is the core of the intergenerational equity debate, and its practical result is the social cost of carbon, which is where we see that huge clash between Stern and Nordhaus. So, let's end with the question we started with. This discount rate, it looks all technical, like something for an economist's spreadsheet, but after everything we've discussed, is it really just an economic calculation? Or is choosing that number a profound moral statement about what we owe to future generations, about the kind of world we want to leave behind? That's the real question. Good luck with your exams.